Buongiorno a tutti and a very warm welcome in this next episode of Nuovo Espresso Italiano A1 for livello A1.1. We are dealing with our chapter number 4, Tempo Libero. And in the last class, in the last few episodes, we talked about the verbs giocare and leggere. Okay. Today, we will talk about some adverbs of frequency. So please put the heading here. Gli avverbi di frequenza. Okay. So the adverbs of frequency. First one is sempre, is always, quasi sempre, almost always, di solito, that we already covered, usually, then we have raramente, rarely, qualche volta, which means sometimes, and non mai, which means never. Non mai. So these are like few adverbs of frequency we use. Let's build some sentences. So the verb, whatever the verbs we have covered, so we can for leggo sempre, il libro, il giornale. Mm. Gioco sempre, sempre a calcio. Yeah. Similarly, let's use quasi sempre. Leggio quasi sempre, almost always, la rivista. Gioco quasi sempre a basket. Basket we talked about. Basket is a basketball, yeah. Mm, leggio quasi sempre il romanzo. Romanzo. Yeah. On this solito, we already did a lot of sentences we already made. Let's talk about qualche volta. So, qualche volta leggo, leggo, leggo una rivista, invece di un libro, instead of book. Raramente, raramente leggo, leggo la rivista. E gioco a pallavolo. Gioco is to play. So rarely I read magazine and uh, play this volleyball. Okay. Non mai. Let's use that. So non will come in the beginning, then it will be verbo, then mai. Non leggo mai il giornale. Non gioco mai uh, le carte. I never play cards. Non leggo mai la rivista. Invece leggo qualche volta una storia. Okay, so I don't read, I never read magazine. Instead, invece leggo, I read sometimes una storia. Yeah? I read a story, sorry. So these are the adverbs of frequency. Here they have the solito and quasi sempre. Okay, let's talk about our next verb, that is dormire, which means to sleep. Let's conjugate it. Dormo, dormi, dorme, dormiamo, dormite, dormono. Okay, please take down the notes. Okay, let's build some sentences. Di solito dormo molto. Invece tu um, let us use ma here. Ma tu uh, non dormi mai. Di solito, let us introduce. Io dormo molto, ma tu non dormi mai. Like I usually sleep a lot, but you never sleep. Dorme quasi sempre 8 ore, which means 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. rather, that we will obviously cover in the end. Then also say this one more. Non dormiamo mai. Okay. Non dormiamo mai. Okay, so I never sleep. Um, you can also add di solito. Yeah, that is also a kind of an option here. Okay, so let's expand it. Invece, mm, leggiamo una rivista. Uh, One more thing is there. We talked about invece. Invece di. So invece di, I talked, we mentioned that it is sostantivo, and it also takes infini, infinito. That is the infinitive form of the verb. Okay. Like you say, instead of playing, instead of reading. Yeah. So if I can say that invece di giocare a calcio, leggo il libro. Yeah. Invece di leggere il giornale, gioco ai videogiochi. Okay. We can do one thing. You should also write down their meanings. Okay. Instead of playing soccer, I read the book. Similarly, this one. Instead of reading the newspaper, I play video games. Okay, so when we use invece, so we also use it with sostantivo, that is with noun, or infinito, that is the infinitive form of the verb. Invece is actually, it talks about the situation. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think that's all here. Uh, In the next episode, we will, yeah, we did the verb, here we discussed the verb dormire. Okay, so in the next episode, we will talk about the verb, and that's an irregular verb, andare. Okay, and however, it's not exclusively supposed to be covered, but we will also talk about some transports. Okay, with the verb andare. Okay, and yes, then we will proceed further. And if you had enjoyed the session, please care to hit the like button and share this absolutely free of cost initiative with your friends who wants to learn Italian language free of cost. We will see each other in the next episode. Till then, arrivederci.